Because we've all been focused on the NFL. We were locked into it all year, if you were like me, except for on Sunday night, you didn't watch the Super Bowl because it was so horrible, or you did watch it and you've just, wiped it from your memory because your hometown team got demolished. Maybe you haven't been locked in on the NBA. I've been doing both because it's literally my job. So now, catch you up on where we're at in the NBA season, let's do some early NBA awards. We can start with the MVP. This one, you're going to say, oh, Nick, I haven't been watching. You're going to give it to LeBron. Point of order, last year I said the league MVP should have been Giannis. Colin and Joy had it for LeBron. The year before, I said it should have been Giannis. I do not vote for LeBron every single year. This year, though, it is undeniable. They are the best team. They have the second best record. He's been there every night. Anthony Davis still has some odd bubble hangover, it would appear, and it does not seem quite like himself. They have the #1 defense in basketball. He is giving you 25, 8, and 8 every single night. He's shooting, at last check, was shooting better than Steph from 3. He's been brilliant for the best team. He's your league MVP. So what's the next award? Other than LeBron James, who's the league MVP, and that's Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid, by the way, is the only guy I believe right now, and it could change. The Nuggets win a bunch of games. Jokic could get involved. When Durant comes back, he doesn't miss any more time the rest of the way, then he could get involved. But right now, the only person who has any type of argument for MVP over LeBron is Joel Embiid. The Sixers have been the best team in the league when they've had their full starting 5. They're damn near undefeated. He has been sensational this season. What's he averaging? 29 points per game, a career high. He's been great throughout the season. And the Sixers are showing you, with the addition of Doc Rivers, and I would say with Daryl Morey emphasizing the need of shooting, I think they're 15-4 when Seth Curry plays, how dynamic this offense can be. And even though Ben Simmons still isn't shooting threes, he's creating threes. But it all starts and ends for Philly with Embiid. He's been their best offensive player. He's been their best defensive player. They've been the best team in the East. So your non-LeBron MVP so far is Joel Embiid. Next, the next award is Most Overachieving Team. Utah Jazz have won 16 of 17 games. I think they have lost one time since Shaq told Donovan Mitchell, you're a fake superstar, Donovan. Yeah, I like you, but not really. I was actually kind of trying to motivate you. But that's not why they're overachieving. The reason I consider them an overachieving team instead of just an excellent team is because this wasn't what was supposed to happen. Remember, Donovan and Rudy Gobert had legitimate, actual beef at the stoppage of last season. Donovan didn't like, they hadn't gotten along previously, and then the coronavirus stuff really did seem to put a real separation between the two. And then when they suffered the heartbreaking type of loss that they suffered in the postseason, if everyone remembers the Nuggets for beating the Clippers, but the Nuggets almost didn't beat the Jazz. The Jazz had a three-pointer at the buzzer of Game 7 to win that series. They didn't, despite Donovan's multiple 50-point games in that series. So the Jazz go home in round 1. There's concern, are they going to trade Gobert? Are they going to max out Gobert? The Mike Conley move, is that really going to work out? And what they have been so far this year is utterly brilliant. Now, do I think they can beat the Lakers? No, of course I don't. But Donovan Mitchell ascending, Rudy Gobert continuing to be one of the 2 or 3 best defensive players in basketball. The rest of the roster doing exactly what you're seeing. And Ingles knocking down threes. Conley playing good ball. That's why the Utah Jazz have the best record in the league. And that's why right now they're the most overachieving team in the league. Next, the opposite of that. Underachieving team. This one hurts. My large adult Slovenian son, Luka Doncic. Now, this is going to sound like an excuse, And it's because it is an excuse for Luka. I have on good authority that Luka did not think the season was going to start as early as it did. Everyone's like, why is Luka out of shape? Because he thought the season was going to be starting around now. And instead it started before Christmas, so Luka comes in out of shape. But what's more disappointing for the Mavericks is they have not built on the momentum of last season, where Luka was MVP candidate in year 2, where they took the Clippers to 6 games, where they got real playoff experience, and where seemingly they should have and would have learned, guys, the offense can only take us so far. They were the #1 offense, not in the league last year. They were the #1 offense in league history last year, and they went out in round 1 because they couldn't get any stops, and they weren't particularly good in close games. They haven't improved on either of those areas that much, and the offense is no longer the greatest offense in the history of basketball, and Luka, everyone's preseason MVP pick, yours truly included, while he's been really, really good, he hasn't taken the year 2 to 3 leap I would have hoped, and it's not talked about because his shot looks fine. But Luka shooting right around 30% from 3 is going to cause some trouble for them. He's got to get that going. I told you, he's my large adult Slovenian son. We worked on that in our driveways in inner Slovenia for years and years. I thought he would be better at it by now. And the loss of Seth Curry has been a big one for them. The Mavs, I had them in the conference finals. Right now, they're the 14 seed. They got to get it together immediately. Next team, please. Next category, I should say. The most concerning team. We talked about it a few minutes ago, so I don't have to belabor this point. The Nets are not, before the show, we were going over this with the great Herd staff, the Herd producers. They're like, Nick, why wouldn't the Nets be the underachieving team? Because they're not underachieving. They don't have the ability to guard people. That's not underachieving, that's accurately achieving. This is, it's not underachieving if you can't dunk a basketball and you're 5'6". It's accurately achieving. They're concerning because they not only can't guard anyone, they have no way to fix it. All their picks are gone. All their assets are gone. They're not allowed to trade Joe Harris until after the trade deadline because of when he signed his contract. They're not going to trade Kyrie because he and KD came as a package deal, even though that would probably, honestly, really help them. Harden is a wonderful, spectacular offensive player. He doesn't fix their offensive problems. And on top of all that, the guy offensively who takes a back seat seemingly when all 3 guys play together is Kevin Durant, who's the 2nd best player in the world because of what he does on the offensive end. I was one of the only people, if I may pat myself on the back, literally, good job, Nick. I was one of the only people last year, all year long, to tell you the Clippers' warning signs are real. That, forget the Clippers beating the Lakers, told you last year, Clippers not making it out of round 2. Everyone thought I was hating on Kawhi. Proved true. Follow me on this. The Nets, as presently constituted, are not making it, forget the NBA Finals, are not making it to the conference finals. They cannot fix what ails them. And Steve Nash, rookie head coach, does not have a great wealth of coaching or defensive experience to fix it. Next, what do we got next? Sorry, I got riled up talking. Oh, breakout player, Jaylen Brown. What's the opposite of patting yourself on the back? Kicking yourself in the butt? I don't know. I would do that, but I'm sitting. I once called Jaylen Brown a homeless man's Kawhi Leonard. Not even a poor man's Kawhi Leonard, a homeless man's Kawhi Leonard. I mocked Danny Ainge for giving him $100 million. Jaylen Brown's been spectacular. Now, the Celtics haven't been great as of late. They have some structural issues. But Jaylen Brown has been the best player on this team. Jaylen Brown, not Jason Tatum, has been the best player on the team. Jaylen Brown, in my opinion, should be a starting guard for the Eastern Conference All-Star team. He's been that good. Almost 27 points per game, always a very good defender, has added an even more reliable three-point shot. Jaylen Brown, to me, along with, shout out to Syracuse's own Jeremy Grant, would be the two guys, but I'll give it to Jaylen Brown for breakout player. Next, biggest challenge for the Lakers. It's not the Clippers, but the Clippers are lurking. Clippers are better than they were last year. It's not the Nets for the reasons I explained already. It's not the Jazz or the Nuggets, and I know Jazz and Nuggets fans are going to say, oh, this is small city bias, East Coast bias. No, it's because in your heart of hearts, you know this. Neither Donovan Mitchell nor Nikola Jokic can be the best player in a playoff series against LeBron and have that thing even go 6 games. You guys know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. The Sixers are a little different now. Ben Simmons can guard LeBron somewhat credibly. Joel Embiid can neutralize Anthony Davis to a degree. They have the shooting. Tobias Harris is playing like Clippers Tobias Harris, maybe because Doc is there. I wouldn't pick the Sixers to beat the Lakers, but if anyone is built to give the Lakers a real challenge, it would be the Philadelphia 76ers. Give me the last one. I think we have one more. I might be wrong. Do we have one more? Oh, yeah. Best player on a new team. Shout out to the point guard, CP3. Everything everyone said about Chris Paul going to the Suns has been proven true. His numbers are good, but not overwhelming, but he's teaching them how to win. He is helping them carry the momentum from the bubble into the regular season. Top 4 seed currently in the West. CP3, the point guard, the best player on a new team. Coming up next, Brett Favre was